Slow mode is on. Okay, chat. Welcome everyone. Choo choo. Okay. Happy Monday. Oh, my hair's almost up. No? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. All right. Ready. Sorry. Why we like this? Checking. But going live is better because then there's not too much to fix. This is what it is. Okay. This is our part 3. For those that doesn't know me, to start, my name is Lily Ackerman. I'm a transformation wellness master coach. And I help people to find yourself and to have the best love story of your life. Okay? So today is part 3, how to find yourself back after losing yourself in relationships. We have been talking about a deep and important topic. I hope that 10 hidden reasons behind losing yourself in your relationship help you to see how facing unresolved issues can completely change your perception of love. We also talk about how daily words and behavior over time shifts the roles in relationships. What feels just an inch slowly become miles between who you used to be and who you are today. Is when the disconnection to self happen. And last but not least, you will ask, why am I an authority to talk about this? Great question. Well, first, my personal experience, I lived for decades. And second, through working with clients, I have seen the same pattern over and over. The truth is, sometimes it only takes one emotional issue to lose ourselves in relationships. Just one. Can you imagine carrying several? That was me. Really, that was me. My life was full of unresolved issues before I entered into my relationship. You might recognize some of them from the 10 hidden reasons, part 1 and part 2. Phew, here we go. Rejection issues, misunderstand love and relationships, feeling unworthy, growing in an unstable environment, fear of abandonment, attachment wounds, negotiating against myself, saying it's not a big deal when it was, excusing behavior. He's just stressed, he's tired, believing life means sacrifice, especially love. And I over sacrifice, okay? Thinking maybe I'm expecting too much. So, yeah, let's take more. Fear of abandonment. You feel needed, and I call that love. Seeing red flags, but minimizing them. This is so true. I ignore them all. I carry the emotional weight of the relationship and ignore everything. And when you don't question what feels normal, you stop understanding your own emotions. You stop understanding who you are. The need to belong became stronger than the need to myself. So I stay quiet, ignoring my pain to make it easier, my life. Believe when I say that God is always working on the background of your life. And I will tell you why. One thing I noticed that when I felt suffocated by my emotions, I had the urge, URGE, to go for a run. I didn't realize that physical activity was my outlet of escape. Without knowing, I was pouring all my stress into physical activity because I liked the way it felt after that, after my run. So eventually I became a aerobics instructor and professional dancer. God knew that I needed an outlet because at that time I was not having a relationship with God. I mean, some people get hooked in drugs, alcohol, pornography. So that's when I want to say that God, I believe that God put the desires of going for a run, that urge, so I don't go into a deadly outlet of escaping. But the thing is, I wasn't healing the root. So I needed more and more of exercise. To be honest, it's a miracle that I'm here telling you all of this with a smile after decades of emotional and physical abuse. And you haven't heard the worst part. The hardest truth is I accepted crumbs of love. I stayed longer than my peace allowed. I convinced myself I will stay no matter what until life forced a change. Life has its way, all right? My daughter's father got involved with someone else and walked away from the family. But the worst part and the best part was that was going to transform my life happened after my suicidal attempt. How can you explain that the worst and the best part? It happens almost at the same time because by attempting by my suicidal attempt, few days later I have an encounter with God, and that was my great beginning. Getting out of unhealthy patterns wasn't easy, but there comes a moment when you are tired of being tired, when your body start breaking down, when you look at your children and you know something has to change. I didn't have the how, so don't worry about that. I didn't know exactly what I wanted because I'm in the middle of the storm. You don't know what you want, but I knew exactly what I didn't want. I didn't want to feel that emotional pain anymore. And I didn't want that kind of life for my little girls. So that encounter with God helped me to take responsibility for my emotions. I faced my unresolved issues. I reconnected with God and I did a massive act of forgiveness. I hired a coach for 3 years. That doesn't mean you need 3 years, okay? But just remember the list that I have of unresolved issues. So sometimes you do, not anymore. Thank you, God, because the point is not to be hooked up to your coach, but I have a good one who, and I was willing to do the changes. So for the first time, I looked at myself with compassion. For the first time, I listened to my pain. And I have to confess, it was a long journey of healing. But today I can tell you, I overcame all the emotional and physical abuse and toxic patterns. Today I live beyond my wildest dream, where love is in the air to breathe. Hmm, okay. I can fill my lungs with love, so I can shh, exhale love too. I know who I am, and that's a big thing. I know my life purpose and where is my final destination. Some people build a wealth, and that is beautiful. I built a family. I rebuilt myself, and that is priceless because I didn't just change my life, but my daughter's life, my grandkids, and future generations' family dynamic. That transformation led me to study 4 years and became a certified wellness coach. Now I help others in the three key areas: spiritual, mindset, I'm sorry, and health. Because all of those shape relationships. So what do you do now? Let's start with powerful questions. Not to your partner or others, but yourself. Just breathe when you are asking these questions. Be present. Put your hand into your heart and ask, when did I start disappearing in my own relationships? When did I disconnect from myself? What part of my unresolved issues are behind in losing myself? What am I gaining by staying silent? What am I gaining by overgiving? What it needs to happen to step up as a wife or husband? How do I see my partner? As a child, father, mother? What role am I playing in my relationship? What part of me still believes I have to earn love? Let's have a drink. Mhm. It tastes so beautiful. Now let's check solutions. Check the intentions behind what you do and what you say. Check the intentions behind. Take responsibility of your emotions. Check the evidence that surrounds your life because evidence are the results of your daily thoughts, intentions, actions, and desires. Face your triggers. They are not the enemy. They are knock at your door for you to make changes and life adjustments. Practice your creativity. Sorry. Pay attention when problems arise. Don't put them under the rug. Problems are to be resolved, not to be ignored. So put in practice your creativity to resolve them. Listen to yourself. Daily thoughts build or destroy relationships. Face unresolved issues. There's no difference if you are not in a relationship or you are. In either case, healing will change the way you perceive relationships. Stop the blame game. Your partner is not the root. Unhealed ones are. So pay attention when you are blaming your partner for your emotions or your reactions. Check your behavior. Stop turning your partner into a parent or child, and stop being the child or parent in the relationship. Last, stay away from the prohibited words. Mom, dad, daddy, pap. Leave that for your children. You know, it was never God's intention to create relationships to break apart each other, but rather to love, to help, and to cherish. So now that you know that 90% of relationship issues arise from unresolved issues, you are in the perfect time to rebuild yourself and your love life. It is time to go back to God's original design. So let's give it a try. After all, what can you lose, right? If you would like to go deeper, join me no, it's May 19th to 22nd for my first challenge of the year. Reclaim your heart, rewrite your love story. This is for anyone ready to shift their relationship from mediocre to meaningful, single or married. It doesn't matter if you're single or married, because this is about you. Because one truth changed my life. Nothing changes until you do. I did. Now I can help you to do the same. So if you're interested, DM Heart or text Heart, I'm sorry, to get the details. All right. See you next Monday. And I realized I jumped because I apologize. I jumped from the to the second part of the hidden reasons that are behind to losing yourself in relationship. So you don't have part one. I apologize. So next week I'm going to do part one, and so you have the complete topic. All right. So next Monday, see you at 10 o'clock in the morning. In the meantime, remember, choose love, choose forgiveness. And if you have any question, I will happily be very happy to listen to you. Okay? Bye.